Tanisha's offensive system that has allowed them to play as well as they have with the Dream?
I think that's pretty easy. It's all one-on-one. So AD fits really well into it. It's a lot of isolation ball, and obviously they're good at that. And it's not too many sets. You know, I suppose my system's a little bit more complex than what Atlanta is, but they're playing to the strengths of their team, and that's, you know, just moving the ball and getting a lot of isolations and using their athleticism and speed. So, but I'm really happy for AD. I said from the start, I thought that was a really great fit for them in terms of what team they were going towards. And you know, I'm glad that we won, but I'm happy that they had a good game.
Yes, I guess it works out the best that way. You've talked to us about how a goal of yours is for your defense to give up less than 20 points in each frame. And so that didn't happen in the middle quarters, but then in the fourth, you found a way to give up, 13. So I'm curious as to what sort of changed. How did you get into those two middle frames where the defense struggled and then you were able to come out?
Well, look, they just pushed the pace so fast. You know, and if you're slow, we just talked about making sure we're getting back and then building walls, and we didn't build the walls good enough. They were getting downhill and getting easy baskets at the rim. They were getting offensive rebounds and getting, shots off that possessions. They'll just play a little tougher than us, really, in those two middle quarters there. And but I think we're a resilient team. We're able to adapt and get a little bit more locked in with what we want to do. We switched, we stayed in plays a little bit better, and we contested and rebounded the ball. It's a simple game if you keep them to one possession and you can make them take contested shots.
I appreciate that. And finally, I just wanted to check in on Dee. I saw she was playing tough defensively, but then she got a little frustrated, getting all those foul calls. So I'm curious as to, is this expected for someone to have those growing pains after not playing for a while? And how do you continue to just sort of instill that confidence in her to just sort of stay the course?
Yeah, look, and that's it. Stay the course. I think Dee is she's her hardest critic. I think she's giving us good minutes. Now, she still hasn't played for a while, so it's all about a rhythm, but you always know you're going to get 110% effort. Sometimes the execution didn't go as well as expected, but she hasn't played in the system for such a long time. So she's got a little bit more steeper learning curve for everyone. But she missed some shots, but she had some good looks. I thought she had good intent getting to the rim. She made some, she just turned the ball over a little bit, but defensively, she just overhelped when she shouldn't have. And that's just getting a little bit more comfortable in the system. But I'm happy with Dee. She beats herself up. So I'm going to be on the other spectrum and be really positive.
All right. I appreciate that. Congratulations. And thank you.
Thanks.
Miles.
Hi, Sandy. Congratulations on the win. The game momentum followed the rebounding battle very closely. You guys were +9 after the first quarter, and then by the end of the third, it had swung back to Atlanta being +2. By game's end, New York was +8, including 4 or 5 offensive rebounds on those final few possessions to really ice the game. So what did you see in that turnaround in the fourth quarter to take control back of that game?
Well, we weren't happy with the way we're rebounding, so it was more about you got to rebound the ball. Okay, we can't give this team second chance opportunities because they're just coming at you. I mean, downhill everywhere, just with their athleticism. And it was just a little bit of a focus, to be quite honest. It's just a focus. We got to go get boards, and that's everyone. It's not just the post players, but Sabrina's doing a great job on the boards now and helping out as much as we can. And that's what it comes down to. Just a little bit more focus, a little bit more discipline in executing what we want to do.
And this was another game like the Connecticut game that had a hot shooting start that became more physical as the night wore on. So could you talk a little bit about the poise that the team showed after Atlanta cut the lead all the way down to 4 heading into the final 10 minutes?
Yeah, look, I think that's an area that we've grown on. And that just takes time, like understanding, we're okay. And just keep stressing. We just got to move the ball, but make good decisions, back cutting, doing the simple things well there, like not predetermining what you're doing. And I think we've grown as a team. I have faith that we can execute when we need to. And really against a team that's so aggressive, and it comes down to its ball movement. So when we do that, we look really good and we can loosen them up a little bit. Yes, we still got some ill-advised turnovers by the post players being a little bit quick with the ball, some travels. But, I think we've grown so much. 17 is too much for us. It's as high as we have probably in June, to be quite honest. But, they're a team that really puts so much pressure on him. So it's no surprise that they're doing as well as they are.
Thanks so much, and congratulations again.
Thanks, Miles.
Jeff, and then we'll finish with Brian.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Thank you for being here tonight. We talked about in the pregame, I believe it was Miles who asked the question. We talked about how strong the Atlanta defense was. Yet in the first quarter, you pounced on them, plus 17 margin, and then you bookended it with a plus 8 margin in the fourth quarter. How important was it to get off to that hot start? And what was the secret to cracking the Atlanta defense tonight?
Yeah, I think we made a lot of shots. We're a great 3-point shooting team, but when we can have Sub on the ball, off the ball, we got Marine on the ball, off the ball, and Semi, and we've got so many different weapons that can make shots, and that certainly helps and gives you confidence. Although, to be quite honest, I don't like when we're up by so much early in the first quarter because, momentum, it does change. It's always going to happen in a game. It's the WNBA. But I like having those games too. Just, you can get the bench in a little bit. We have to show a little bit of resiliency and because they went to another level, to be quite honest. I mean, they picked it up. So, they made us certainly work for it. But every time we can have games like this, it helps us grow as a team. And it's nice that we're executing. We've lost a few games when it gets a little close, but now we're executing and playing with a little bit more poise and purpose when we need to.
You mentioned the execution. You mentioned how you lost some of those close games, but now those results are starting to turn in your direction a little bit. In terms of that execution, what's been the biggest difference in securing those victories? What's been the true X factor from being on the right end of the scoreboard?
I think we're a pretty good defensive team now if we execute the scout. We're able to make adjustments in the game now, which we weren't able to do in May, and that was more about just getting to learn with each other and building trust, really, and chemistry. And then offensively, it's simple. Just move the ball, trust each other, move the ball. We're good to great. We've been stressing that from day one. But you see, we're growing and we're going to continue to grow. But it's nice that we're playing a style of basketball I think is fun to play and fun to watch, hopefully.
Yeah, we concur, I think. But my final one from me. You have 6 days coming up. You guys don't want to see June end, I presume, because this has been such an exciting month, an explosive month. What from a coach's perspective, what was the biggest difference between June and May, and what do you want to accomplish most over these next 6 days?
Well, the difference is we had time to grow. We had a really terrible training camp with no one in it, so just it's hard to build chemistry when none of your players are actually on the court. Steph obviously had 2 days. Mick wasn't there at the start. Semi was there. Beck wasn't there. She's still not there. Crystal wasn't there. Marine wasn't there. So we had limited players together to build that chemistry, and it really just takes time. And I suppose I've been in situations like this before, so I was actually quite calm. I'm like, we're fine. We're going to be fine. It's everyone else that's panicking around outside. Like, we're going to be fine because, we're fine. We got the right pieces back. Obviously they're playing with, great poise and building great chemistry. And that's the difference. And now doesn't mean we can't continue to grow. There's always growth. And our goal is to be, can we put together 4 really consistent quarters? And we're not there yet. But it's, this is the WNBA. So it's more about just one game at a time approach. And that's as far as I look. So hopefully we can finish off June with another win on, we don't play for a while, do we? When we play next week.
Appreciate your time and insight. Congrats on the win. Safe travels home.
Thanks, Jeff. You're up, Brian.
Oh, hi guys. Brian Fullerton from Nets Daily. Sandy, Ryan Howard is a big focus of Atlanta's attack, and she only went 6 of 18 tonight with only 4 shots in the painted area. What did you like about the defense you guys played on her tonight?
Yeah, well, I thought for the most part, we know she was going to get a number of shots here, but we wanted to make sure that they were hard. We didn't want to give her threes, to be quite honest. We wanted her to go downhill into the paint, into congestion. That was our goal. Didn't always fulfill that. She's a really good player. I like that, the way that she's come into the WNBA and showed, her toughness and her ability there. But it would have been a different game if AD didn't step up, but I'm happy for AD to have the kind of game that they did.
And last one for me. As Atlanta was making their big runs, you guys were really able to sort of like keep your poise and keep everything organized. What was the message to the team as Atlanta was going on their big runs in the second and third quarter and heading into the fourth?
Just get a little bit more discipline. We went away when we lose a little bit of focus, we don't execute, and we don't have 5-player defense, and we turn the ball over down the other end. Well, then we lack discipline, and we go back to what we did in May. And it's more like, hey, we're fine. We're just going to stay the course, okay? Just refocus here. Just keep it simple. I say, keep it simple. We know what we need to do. And, we started switching a little bit more when we needed to, but we started rebounding and controlling the controllables. And I just thought we matched their effort when we needed to. But we played, we made shots, and that certainly helps as well.
All right. Thank you, Sandy.
Thanks, guys.
Next up, we'll have Sabrina, Ionescu, and Natasha Howard. They're making their way over now. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right, we'll get started with Jackie.
Okay, hello all, and congratulations on the win. I will start with Natasha because she is on my left. So this team is playing with a lot more poise and maturity. What do you think has been the most responsible for that?
The leaders, me and Sabrina, starting the pace in practice and even starting in games and stuff. And with our leadership, also Steph too, just also with our leadership, just having that poise and, that discipline on and off the floor, that's how it starts with like us three and getting everybody involved and stuff. And that's how we've been coming up with these wins at the end.
I appreciate that. I also want to ask you about AD and what they were able to do. I know they're a good friend of yours. And what do you think it is about this offensive system in Atlanta with Tanisha that has allowed them to play as well as they
have? She let them play. That's the thing. She let them play to their strength. And you can see it with every player. She's playing with more confidence and just free. And Tanisha, she's a new coach, but at the end of the day, she played in the league too, so she knows what to expect for her young team as well. And also with some of the leaders that's not even playing too, that's injured.
I appreciate that, Natasha. Sabrina, for you, in the third quarter, y'all weren't winning the battle of the boards, but going into the fourth, something shifted. I'm curious as to what type of discussion there was amongst y'all that allowed you all to finish with 9 more rebounds than the Dream.
Honestly, not really much of a discussion. It was something that we just knew we had to continue to do. Every game we're trying to win the rebound battle, with bigs getting in there, rebounding, guards getting in there and rebounding. And so that's what we were able to do, continue to chip away, limit second chance opportunities, and do that on both ends of the floor.
And I also want to ask you about Dee Dee. I asked Sandy about her when Sandy was here with us, in that, she's trying to get back into it, and she got into a bit of foul trouble. And, for you, as someone who's very much so your worst critic as well, I just wonder how, as teammates, you can sort of just support Dee Dee as she sort of gets back into this.
Yeah, she's doing great. I don't think anyone's worried about the fouls, some of her missed baskets, the fact that she's able to, come back out there, give us energy on both sides of the floor. That's what we need her for. We're not expecting her to come in from sitting out the whole season and make every shot she's taking. She's getting to her spots, and that's what's important. She's driving into the lane, getting those shots that she needs. She's making a huge impact on defense, and that's what we need her for. So all of that will come. We're just happy to see her back out there healthy.
For sure. And the final one for me, so MJ shot, I think, 67% from the field tonight. And it seemed like every time that when you all needed a shot, when Atlanta was sort of creeping back, she goes out there and she makes it. I'm curious as to, how that helps and how her efficiency is just such a plus.
Yeah, well, Sammy hit some big time shots too. So I think, we have so many weapons offensively. It's like when Tosh and I are in pick and rolls, everyone's so worried about the pick and roll that we're able to find shooters weak side. We just continue to have so many weapons, and it's like, where are we going to hit them with? And whether it's Sammy coming off and hitting that huge 3 for us, whether it's Marine coming off and hitting big shots, the floor is continuing to open up for all of us, and we're just learning to play off of one another, whether it's them or us, or all of us are just learning who's the hot hand, how can we get people to get into their spots, and we trust her to take those shots, and we trust all our players, all our shooters to take shots like that, and we're going to live and die by those shots. And so I'm really proud of her, the way she's able to come in and continue to help us win these games.
Thank you.
Miles?
Hi, Tosh. Hi, Sabrina. My first question is for Tosh about kind of what Jackie was asking a little bit about there. 5 threes apiece for both Sabrina and Marine tonight, a season high 16 for the team. How does their drive and kick ability of that tandem just help to consistently generate those open looks for each other and for other teammates from deep?
More than that, when I set screens for anybody, everybody is collapsing in on me in the paint. So Sab and Jojo, they're going to be open. Sammy, they're going to be open. The outside shot's going to be open for our guards to shoot them. And, that's a good thing, having a good post player, not to toot my own horn, but actually to draw more attention into the paint that opens up the outside for our guards. And that's how Sabrina got 5 threes, and Jojo had 5 threes, and Sammy with 3, 4, I don't know. But is to have like that consistent shooting outside, and they was able to knock them down.
Thank you. And Sabrina, with their athleticism, Atlanta is a very difficult team to score on in transition. But in the third quarter, you managed to do just that. Off a missed free throw, Han outran the defense, and you were able to lob a pass over the top for a layup. What does Han bring athletically? We've seen some of her shooting on the outside and some of her post up inside, but just running the floor like that.
Yeah, honestly, our transition offense was probably our best offense. Being able to get rebounds and run. Especially in that first half and in that first quarter, I think, that's why we had 33 points. We were able to get stops, not foul, get rebounds, and continue to push the ball. And so Han's a great presence, whether it's inside or outside. She's continuing to learn and get to her spots on the floor. And so obviously to have a player that's her height to be able to outrun everyone down the floor and get a layup says something about her effort on both sides of the ball.
Thanks so much, and congratulations to you both.
Jeff and then Brian.
Thank you. Taj, Sabrina, thank you for joining us tonight. Congrats on the victory. My first question is for Natasha. As Atlanta, you guys get off to that hot start, up 33-16. As Atlanta started to creep back in that game, was there any, as one of this team's leaders, was there a message to the group in the halftime locker room that pushed you guys forward into the second half?
Yes, control and we can control, and that's what we did on getting back on transition, the rebounding, and the fouling and stuff. They went to the free throw line before halftime. They went to the line a handful, but we talked about it, and in the second half we came and we buckled down, and we got the stop that we needed, and we limited to one shot only, and we all contribute together as boxing out, and because they post players are stronger, but other than that, we did a good job on both ends of the floor.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And my next question is for Sabrina. Everyone has talked about, the shooting abilities tonight. I believe it was a team record tonight, actually, 16 3-pointers in a single game, team record. But Coach Brondello really spoke about what you've been able to accomplish in the interior through your rebounding game. What adjustments have you made to your rebounding game this season? Because it's really come up big. I believe you're averaging just over 8.8 rebounds over the past 7 games. So have you made any adjustments to your rebounding game, and what's been the secret to that recent stretch?
No adjustments made. I've always kind of been a big rebounder through college, high school, and now in the pros. I think just continuing to find the ball. Like I said, our transition offense is probably our best offense. And so if I can get the rebound and push the ball, that's a great look for us. But obviously it's everyone. Like, our bigs have to box out in order for us to get those rebounds, and it doesn't matter who gets them. We're just trying to do our job. And last year we weren't a great rebounding team. And so I think this year we all understand defense and rebounding are what are going to win us these games, whether we shoot the ball well or not. And so that's something that's kind of laid down fundamental to this team this season. And so I'm just doing my part and continuing to hold everyone accountable. Like, if I'm in there boxing out, getting rebounds, then so should the next person and the next person. And so I think that's what I'm just trying to do through my leadership.
Appreciate that. Thank you. My last question is for the two of you. As a matter of fact, I don't think you guys want June to end at this point, but sadly, there's only one game left, that coming 6 days later. So from a player's perspective, what's been the biggest difference from May to June, and what do you want to accomplish most over these next 6 days to end this month on the right note?
I mean, we're excited for July if this was June. To be honest, we're getting better every single game. And that's exciting. We're getting to know each other a lot better. In that month of May, we hadn't practiced together. We hadn't known each other. We hadn't had a training camp with everyone. And so now we're starting to really get into a good flow, and we're still going to face adversity, obviously, but the fact that we're able to continue to get better every game, and it shows, is a testament to the coaching staff and us as individuals. So June was fun. We still have another game, but July is going to be scary.
Appreciate your time and insight, both of you. Safe travels home.
Thank you.
Brian?
Hey guys, Brian Florenson from Nest Daily. Sabrina, tonight was the 7th straight game the team has had 20 or more assists. What's been the key to you guys sort of developing that continuity to sort of keep the offense running as well as it has been?
Yeah. I mean, we're all sharing the love. We're all sharing the wealth. We're finding each other in transition. We're finding each other in pick and rolls. I think we've seen almost every defense at this point in the season. And so now, we've been able to practice it, figure out ways we can attack it. And so that's been huge, of just understanding where we want to get the ball in a certain amount of defenses. And obviously having Marine, having Crystal, having other point guards out on the floor helps all of us as a team, because they're able to drive and kick and pass first players.
Thank you. And Natasha, my question is, coming into the game, Atlanta was 2nd in the W in rebounding this season. How important was it for you guys as bigs and the team overall to sort of keep Atlanta off the boards and really sort of push and get easy transition opportunities off of rebounds?
It was very important. We already knew that Atlanta was a good rebounder team, like you said. And our main focus was just to keep Parker and Monique them off the boards, not to get their offense going and stuff. And I think we did a really good job on that through the whole game. and stuff, and for them not to, you know, get that confidence on offense, and we did a good job, post and guards.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy your time off.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you all for joining. We'll send a copy of the recording shortly.